Hi, this is Lane 8492. This is the only true crime story video I'm doing today. This is the case of another case here in Florida. This is the case of Florida death row inmate Andrew Richard Lukehart. You see, Andrew Richard Lukehart was convicted in the brutal murder of his girlfriend's 5-month-old daughter, Gabrielle Hanshaw. You see, Andrew Richard Lukehart was living with his girlfriend, Misty Rue, who had two daughters, Ashley, 2 years old, and Gabrielle Hanshaw, who was 5 months old. And then on the afternoon of February 25th, 1996, Misty Rue put Ashley down for a nap in her bedroom while Andrew Richard Lukehart was in the other room with Gabrielle Hanshaw. Around 5 p.m., Miss Rue heard her car start, and she saw Andrew Lukehart drive away in the white Oldsmobile. She also noticed that Gabrielle was not in the house. 3 minutes later, Misty Rue received a call from Lukehart stating that an individual in a blue Chevy Blazer had taken the child from the home and he was chasing them in her car. He asked her to call the police. 20 minutes after that, Misty Rue contacted the Duval County Sheriff's Department that a car had run off at 6 p.m. and Mr. Mobley, a witness, reported to the Clay County Sheriff that a car had run off the road close to his home and he could not find the driver. While an officer from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Department was speaking with Misty Rue in her home, she received a call from the Clay County Sheriff's Department that Misty Rue's car had been driven off the road in Clay County and no one was in the car at the time it was located. A search ensued in the surrounding area and neither the baby nor the driver could be found. Helicopters were used in this search, and Lukehart walked up to Florida State Trooper Davis with his hands up and stated that he was the one that they were looking for. And he demanded that the officer read it, and Andrew Lukehart demanded that the officer read him his Miranda rights. And he chose to handcuff Andrew Richard Lukehart and notified the dispatcher. An officer then from Clay County Sheriff's Department retrieved Andrew Lukehart and took him back to the scene of the abandoned car. The officer kept Lukehart handcuffed and waited for an officer from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Department to interview Andrew Lukehart because he was the only witness to the alleged abduction. During the period of time, Andrew Lukehart made numerous comments to him, such as complaining that baby Gabrielle Hanshaw kept soiling herself during the period and stated that he had placed Gabrielle in the front seat of the Oldsmobile and that she had been abducted from the driveway. Lukehart could not describe the person who was driving the Chevy Blazer. Lukehart stated that he had placed Gabrielle in the front seat of the Oldsmobile. The police questioned Lukehart at the police station and reiterated his second abduction story, which means he changed his story so something wouldn't be adding up. And stated that he would retrace the steps from Misty Rue's home to the area in Clay County with law enforcement, which Lukehart declared that his first story that he had given was a lie to the police. He then stated that the baby had been abducted from a store, which means, first he claims that she was abducted from the house, then it was abducted from a store. And that the stories were both inaccurate, and then he changed his story again. And then Andrew Lukehart took the police to the place where the Oldsmobile had been found and told them where he had lost the blazer. An intensive search was still being conducted for the child, and the police questioned Andrew Lukehart again and told him that he did not believe the abduction story at all. And approximately 18 hours after turning himself in, Andrew Lukehart admitted that he had unalived 5-month-old Gabrielle Hanshaw, and that stating that he had dropped the baby while changing her and put her body in a pond in Jacksonville. Andrew Richard Lukehart went on trial for the crime, was found guilty, and sentenced to death. And now his execution warrant has been signed by Governor Ron DeSantis, setting his execution for June 2nd. So after this one's carried out, this will be the 8th execution in Florida this year. And of course, on May 21st, Florida will carry out the execution of Richard Andrew Knight, and I already did a true crime video on him. And then on June 2nd, they will carry out the execution of Andrew Richard Lukehart. This is Lane 8492. I have an associate's, bachelor's, and master's degree in criminal justice. Hope you enjoy this video and let me know what you think. Thanks.